We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next. Welcome back. We're joined today by model and actress Angie Everhart. Now, our next guest has a relationship problem that tons of men and women can relate to. So, Devin, tell us a little bit about what's going on.
So, the way that I was brought up, I'm not all the way emotionally available, you could say. So, I've been dating my girlfriend for a year next month, and it's definitely causing some issues because, you know, she's very emotionally attached and open, and it definitely wants that out of me. And it's not something I'm used to. I'm not opposed to it, but just something that I'm not used to.
Explain to us how an emotionally unavailable man chooses an emotionally available woman.
You know, nothing's ever 100% on the same playing field.
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of things that we do share in common and that do make us work, they're there.
Okay.
This in particular issue is definitely something that's hard.
Mm-hmm. So you can't make something important to you that's not important to you.
Yeah.
And so the easy answer for me is that you have to see the value in it.
Mm.
And right now you don't.
That's true.
At the very least, it may not. Because for him, what he's decided is, not necessary, I don't need it, don't really care about it. But what you have done is you have aligned yourself with somebody who has this trait. And so that tells me that in some ways, this is attractive to you. It feels good when you receive what she's giving, but you refuse to give back.
But he's changing each time the situation comes up, and he's open to it. So maybe it's just his personality trait, and he's changing every time. He's allowing it to.
I mean, I'm trying.
You know what I mean?
I am trying. I'm trying to, for the sake of, you know, her feelings and her security in the relationship, to be open and to come forth. But deep down, yeah, I mean, I'm going to do it for her. It doesn't necessarily bring me any value or importance, but I'm trying to do it for her.
Honestly, you sound like a supermodel. That's very selfish.
How so, Angie?
You know, it was like me before I had a kid. Mm-hmm. Like I would just go and do and be, do anything that I wanted, however I wanted, at all times. And then I had a child, and my life completely changed, and I live for my child, and things are completely different. And when you're in and I didn't really even have a relationship before my child. So when you're in a relationship, you have to deal with the other person. You have to give to the other person.
I feel like you talk about your relationship and about feelings as if it's some kind of science project. Yeah. And like you're tweaking it over here and just playing with it over there, and you're talking about it in the third person. And you've owned your disconnect, but I don't see this confident person that you're portraying. I see somebody that's scared to death.
Oh no, I can understand that. Yeah, it's a scary thing. I mean, changing anything is scary. Opening yourself up to something you don't know about or have no experience in, of course that's terrifying.
I think you comply. Everything we said, you're like, I agree.
No, I'm not being compliant. I mean, you guys are very knowledgeable people. That's a compliment to you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's
very good.
Yeah, no, believe me, I'm very defiant. That's also a big thing that I need to work on.
Is that real? Is defiant real for you?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what's real, because right now you're not showing. I want to see what's really going on. Push back. What do you not buy into? What do you not believe?
I told you, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm open to what you guys are saying because I understand it can be a two-way street. It could be useless.
I don't want to argue. I just want to have a real conversation.
No, I mean, opening up, being emotionally available, and all that, it could be a two-way street. It could be something really great, or it could be something that's a waste of my time and I actually don't need it, and it could be something that hinders.
You're an emotional vampire.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
That's a good way to phrase it.
But
what do you mean by it? Tell him.
Well, yeah, that's somebody that just takes.
Yeah.
Suck the energy out of somebody.
No, I told you that I was trying to give. I just don't generally see the value in it. I'm doing it for her.
I know the space of not understanding or having emotional language and having a really low emotional IQ, because I was you, shut off, never heard the things you said you never heard, and I didn't really know how to emotionally engage or interact. When people with emotional language and emotional IQ started telling me what they thought I should do, all I heard was how incompetent I was. All I heard was, and so I would come back with intellect to try to prove them wrong, which is the whole dance I just watched. Yeah. And so there's nothing we can sit up here to do that is going to make you understand that, other than I want you to just borrow from some of my experience. That life is so much better when you're emotionally awake, when you can love and be loved, when you can fully be in a relationship and experience intimacy at that level. It's a game changer. So what we'd like to do is connect you with our resource coordinator backstage and get you some resources, because I think you need those. If we do that, would you be willing to lean in and do it?
Yeah, sure. I'm a big supporter of therapy, and I think everybody should.
Devin, thank you so much for being here. And a special thanks to our co-host, Angie Everhart. We'll be right back with more from the Daily Helpline.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.